Speaker.
Karanga hau, Jan Logie.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. The Green Party is very pleased to be able to support this minimum wage contract remuneration bill, and I'd like to acknowledge and thank David Parker for getting this bill drawn, his first in 13 years, I understand. They say good things take time. And the government, sadly though, has already indicated that they won't be supporting this bill. And for a party that says they're about addressing child poverty, a party that says they're about strong economy, for a party that says they're sympathetic to the intent of this bill, I'm struggling to understand why they can't at least support it to select committee. The arguments that I've heard so far from listening to the members on the other side of this House are pretty much that it would create too much paperwork for business. And while that would be a disincentive for employing people, that really is an indication of where power lies in this country. So earning less than the minimum wage, which is not stopping people taking those jobs at the moment because they are desperate for work, and of course with more and more people being required by work and income to take these contracts, there's no choice. And that's okay in our country, that people are paid less than the minimum wage for skilled jobs. Yet, on the other hand, a bit more paperwork for employers. And the government says, hold on, that's not right. We can't support that. I think there's a bit of a power problem here. We've also heard from the member Sarah Dowie that employees need flexibility, which is why we shouldn't support this bill. But I'm really not sure when flexibility included wanting to be paid less than the minimum wage. She also said that work brings people out of poverty. Well, again, I think she's missing the point of this bill, which is to try and make that true. Sadly, that is not true at the moment because so much work is short-term, part-time, contract work paid below minimum wage, precarious work on very low wages. And we know that children living in poverty in this country, 2 out of 5 of those children in poverty are living in families where their parents work. Work is not a pathway out of poverty in this country in the way our employment laws are. This bill is a chance. It's not going to fix that problem, but it sets a pretty basic standard that when we say minimum wage, actually that's what we mean and we deliver on. The Green Party believes that as a condition of a decent society, people should be able to get a fair wage, a living wage for their work, and that we as a country should be actively seeking to eliminate structures that perpetuate discrimination and inequality. I'm very pleased to see home care workers specifically covered by this bill because this is an area of massive exploitation in this country. It's a largely female workforce, a workforce with many Māori, Pacific as well as migrant workers. It's a skilled, physically and emotionally demanding job with a huge amount of trust and responsibility in the hands of those workers. And it is clear that it is only poorly paid, so poorly paid, because caring work has traditionally been considered women's work and therefore outside of the mainstream economy. Well, we don't live in the 1950s anymore, Mr. Speaker. These women deserve to have their pay packet reflect their skill and value. The minimum wage goes nowhere near achieving that goal. But by God, it's an absolute bare minimum that this House could deliver on. The government has been tipping employment policy and law framework more and more in favour of the lowest common denominator employers. It's time that stopped. And the Green Party is pleased to stand and offer our support to a bill that will make a difference to the working poor in this country. Kia ora.
I call